Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Sports and Fitness with Zeke. I'm Zeke, sometimes known as Mike Zielinski. My guest today is Mitch Walding, the slugging third baseman for the Reading Fightin Phils. Welcome, Mitch.
Glad to be here.
You had a month of June that was just phenomenal. You were named EL Player of the Month. You probably should have been named Minor League Player of the Month. You had unbelievable stats that you had 13 homers in just 25 games, and you just didn't hit home runs. You hit 337 during that stretch. You had 27 ribbies and a huge OPS of 1.246. And I think you were leading at the time the league in almost every offensive category, which is a phenomenal show of power. You now are leading the league with 22 homers. Now I have to ask you, for 3 years, and in high school, you were an opposite field hitter. Not that much power, not that much average. You had trouble getting around, I guess, in inside fastballs. Didn't anyone ever tell you to start pulling the ball? Was that your own inspiration? I know the 2005 Instructional League, you started to pull the ball. Was that your own decision, or did any coaches encourage you to do that before and you just didn't?
I think it had a lot to do with myself and the coaches. I think your first year in the organization, they kind of let you play,
Okay.
just kind of let you do your thing out there, kind of learn, the game of baseball for your own well-being, I guess. And I think once the couple years went on, they said, okay, this is the kind of hitter you need to be. And I always kind of knew that, being a corner guy, I was gonna need to hit home runs. And I think it was time, obviously I needed to kind of learn how to do that. I think they tried to help me, hit the inside fastball, and it wasn't quite taking the way things, just the way they were explaining it maybe then.
Okay.
Once I kind of got the grasp of how to do it, and they kind of had to show me various ways of getting to that pitch and how to pull the ball correctly. And I think once it kind of clicked for me on how to hit that pitch, things kind of started taking off for the power numbers and stuff.
Yeah, because I think your first minor league season, you didn't even have a homer. And I know you had 13 split between Reading and Clearwater last year, which equaled your high for your career. And then in June, you matched that with 13. And I think you had some crazy, you hit 4 times in June. You homered twice in a game, including back-to-back games. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, you were in such a zone. I mean, you must have really been locked in.
Yeah. I mean, I think throughout a course season, every player goes through that locked-in phase. And, I think, June was kind of my time. I'm just kind of hopefully, going forward, try to continue to find that locked-in phase. I think it's just about being consistent, having good at-bats and doing what you want at the plate every night. So I hopefully just can continue to try to have good at-bats, and hopefully, more good things will happen.
Now, in July so far, and as we tape, I guess you've had 18 games. Your home run totals dropped down to 3. And I was wondering, some of the guys have obviously, this was a power pack lineup, but some of the power hitters have moved up to Lehigh Valley. So are pitchers pitching around you more, and has that been an adjustment for you? And I think you're batting cleanup now for the most part.
Yeah. I definitely am getting probably a little bit more breaking balls lately. I wouldn't say they're pitching around me. I don't think that's the case, but I think definitely the counts in which I'm getting fastballs aren't there as much. I'm definitely getting a lot more off speed. So I really have to kind of focus in on how teams are going to pitch me, how each guy is going to come at me through every at bat. So it's definitely been a little bit of an adjustment that I've had to make lately. I think definitely teams obviously see the amount of home runs that I've hit and have to change an approach. So I think the off speed I've gotten is a lot more as of recent.
Well, I guess the more off-speed pitches you see, the better you'll get handling them, right?
Yeah, you would think so. So hopefully, that'll just make me a better hitter going forward.
Well, you have a sweet left-handed swing, and you do play a corner position. And you're 6'4", and I understand you have pretty good discipline at the plate. You walk a fair amount and stuff like that. What do you want to work on? I notice your batting average hovers around 230s, 240s right now.
Yeah.
What can you do to maybe get you, or are you more worried about keeping the power and not so much the batting average?
I'm not really worried about either or. I think it's just about me going up there having good at bats. And things will happen the way they want to. I think, if I can continue like my month of June, I feel like I had a really, really good at bats all the time. And things went my way most of the time. So if I feel like if I continue to have that same approach, things should work out the way I want to. I don't really focus on hitting home runs. That kind of is one of those things that just happens.
Yeah,
I just focus about putting the ball in play hard every time I can.
Now, obviously, you did not have outstanding seasons the first 3 seasons. Now, suddenly, you've really blossomed. Does that you put more pressure on yourself to sustain that now? Are your expectations of yourself higher, just as other people's expectations are higher now?
I think my expectations of myself have always been high. I'm definitely a very critical person myself. I always strive to be, just to be great, I guess. And it's one of those things where I know that I could always be a very good ball player. And I believe in myself to one day be a big leaguer. So I think I always just, and I wouldn't say it's a pressure, but I expect a lot from myself.
Obviously, this is a fun place to play. This is a classy ballpark. But obviously, you want to go to the next level. Do you think there's a good shot that you can wind up in Lehigh Valley toward the end of the season?
I'm not really worried about that right now. I think I need to stay focused on here and now. I know I've explained to a lot of guys. Leggers talk to me about making every level your big leagues, and that's how you get promoted. And so
that's well put.
Yeah. So and that's my focus. If I make Reading, my big leagues, and try to go out there and play as hard as I can every night, help our team win. Stay focused that way. Things will fall into place. So I'm focused on here and now and here in Reading and just having a good time out there.
Obviously, the game of baseball has changed, especially in the major league level. It's so home run centric, and which puts someone like you even more of a commodity moving forward.
Right.
How would you describe your swing? Do you have much of an uppercut with it, or?
I think a little bit. I think it's more of a, I guess a flick swing. It's one of those things where, you see an off-speed pitch.
Yeah.
And I can, if it's down the zone a little bit, I can flick it out. And it's one of those, I wouldn't say it's an uppercut swing or anything like that. I don't really believe it's an uppercut swing, but I think it's one of those things where just I can flick the ball out at any time. Sometimes, it's one of those things where you see an off-speed pitch and you can hit it out. But I like to go after fastballs early as well. So.
Do you pay much attention to analytics? I mean, now everything is, exit velocity off the bat, and there's some other stats about that. Do you focus on what you're doing with that? Or?
No, not at all. I just, I kind of go into the cages, do your work, and let it fly, I guess.
Do you do much lifting during the season?
Oh yeah, we do. We probably lift 3 or 4 times a week. But I really try to make it's kind of more for maintaining strength during the season. You're not trying to make a lot of gains, strength-wise during season because it'd be a lot on your body, especially when you're playing every single day.
The season wears you down.
Yeah, definitely. It's a grind. Long bus rides, double headers, day games. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
As we tape, you just got back from New Hampshire last night. And how long is that ride? About 5 hours?
I'd say probably like more on a bus. It's probably around 6, maybe a little more. Yeah, so it's a long.
Well, it's a good thing about ball players being young because your knees and back aren't killing you on long bus rides.
Yeah, well, you think so, but some guys they still got bad backs and sore knees.
Yeah, because you guys beat yourselves up a lot.
Yeah, that is very true.
And I understand you're a pretty good fielder too.
I like to think so. Yes.
Yeah. Which is, can you play first base at all too, or?
I played a little bit of first base in the Arizona Fall League. I think I've probably got 15, 20 games in there. I haven't played any at all there this season, but wherever they want to play me is where they'll play me.
Yeah, because that would help. If the more you can do,
get
a big league spot. Yeah. But anyway, congratulations. I hope you have another June like you did. Either in July or August. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you captured the imagination of a lot of fans here in Reading. Yeah. I assume you're a fan favorite.
I'm not sure on that one, but I'd like to be. That'd always be great. Have a lot of fans. It's always something nice.
All right, thank you so much, Mitch Walding, slugging third baseman for the Reading Fightin Phils, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to the People Chronicles channel on YouTube. For now, this is Zeke saying goodbye.
These community stories are made possible in part by BCTV, Susie Ray Design, Queen City Family Restaurant, Lamar Advertising, Heidelberg Family Restaurant, Reading Air, Lions and Hole, Peanut Bar, and Kutztown University.